right. We welcome you to 2019 and look ahead to the year in Marvel. What are you most excited about? Tell us, and we'll tell you. Marvel TV Weekly starts now.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
That's right. It is indeed New Year's Day. Welcome to Marvel TV Weekly. I'm Christian Bladt, joined as always by Xia Anderson.
Hi guys, I'm so happy and excited to be back. I feel like part of me was missing when I was gone. It sounds so silly, but it's true.
Well, as our friend Cassandra Martinez, one of the co-hosts of Marvel Movie News and Popcorn Talk Network, would say, there's a marvelous part of us that's been missing the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And it's so great to have it back. And we are on at a little bit of an earlier time than I tweeted out earlier, so apologies for those watching the archive.
Yeah,
but
my bad.
I see we've got some friends in the chat right now, Xia, so please say hi to everyone who's there.
Hi everyone, we have Ivan Soto, we have Black Magic 99, we've got Ghost 8386. I think I saw, we got Star Drew up in there, Zigzag.
So everyone in the chat, let us know what you're most excited about for 2019 from Marvel. There are no wrong answers. If you say Avengers Endgame, it's just sort of an uninspired answer because we're kind of all excited for that because it's like,
we know.
Yeah, where's that going?
Yeah.
But so we're going to try and have some different answers. And there's so much to talk about in terms of what's coming up this year. So let's very quickly go in order of what we're going to get on the big screen. So we are going to get, in March, we're going to get Captain Marvel. Okay. And then in April, the aforementioned Avengers Endgame. Then in June, allegedly, we're going to get X-Men Dark Phoenix. Just allegedly because it's moved a few times. And then in July, we're going to get Spider-Man Far From Home. Excited about all those. I can't wait to see all of those movies. On the TV side, well, we've got Mr. Frank Castle joining us in just a few short weeks on January 18th. And I think that's a great place to start because, Xia, on the TV side, what are you most looking forward to in 2019?
The Punisher!
Hey, Frank Castle!
Yeah.
And we got a great new trailer just within the last week, just the last few days. And as always here on the show, we have to talk over the trailers. But for those watching on YouTube, check it out, see what's happening. Very excited to see where this show goes. I was a huge fan of season one. One of the things that I'm hoping more than anything is that we get the skull on his shirt just a little bit more, just a little bit. He doesn't have to get it all the time, but I want to see it. And the way that season one ended, this is going to be a Jigsaw season.
Oh, yeah.
And judging from this, it's really dealing with, teasing Jigsaw a little bit. Oh. So, Xia, what are you most looking forward to about this Punisher season 2 as you literally sit on the edge of your seat?
I know. I'm most looking forward to, I'm like banging my hands because I'm so excited. Most looking forward to Frank Castle and Jigsaw. I'm so excited to see Jigsaw.
Yes.
I hope his face is a little bit more messed up than what they showed there.
Yeah.
I feel like it should be. Also, though, just the way that they set it up last season was so great. I mean, just the betrayal from his best friend and all this. When you fight, you're just like, oh! And so I can't wait to see, there's going to be so much hate there. It's going to be so great.
Yeah, I like when we actually get to see the development of the, arch nemesis, sort of why someone hates someone so much, as opposed to they've hated each other since before this part of the story. Mm-hmm. You're just going to have to take our word for it, So I think that it's great. I really want to see how they do that character. And I want to see more Frank. I can't get enough. And we've talked a lot on this show about the Netflix television Marvel universe, how it's getting smaller and smaller. We have no reason to expect that we'll get any more out of the Punisher after season 2. So I'm hoping, though, that in this season, I feel like we're going to see Karen Page because they are very close. So I would hope we see her. And who knows who else we might see. If you could pick someone else besides Karen, who would you most like to see in this season? Ooh. Even if it's not, let's say not anybody from the movies or anything, but from the Netflix universe, who would you most like to see cross paths with Frank?
Since we might not get to see her in anything else now that everything is being canceled, I would like to see maybe Typhoid Mary.
Yes.
I'd like to see a bit more of her.
That is the correct answer, because that's what I was going to say. And then just, crazy pie in the sky doesn't make any sense. Love to see Colleen Wing. But I don't see why that would actually happen.
No.
Typhoid Mary would make sense.
Yeah.
So I think it would be great if we get a chance to see her. So very much looking forward to that. And there's no date to announce yet. Obviously, the date for the series is January 18th, and that's Netflix style. So at 12:01, you can start watching, and then by about 1 in the afternoon, you can be done with the whole season. So really, just stay up all night and watch it. That's what I would do if I could.
I'm literally checking what day the 18th is.
It's a Friday. It's always a Friday.
I could actually do
Stay
that.
up all night?
Yep, I could.
Oh my God, you'll be like so delirious by the end of it. Although, but the thing is, you'll be done at 1 in the afternoon. Be like, okay, time to sleep now. So yes, it'll. But the point I was going to make is that we don't have a date for it yet, but there will be an after show here on AfterBuzz. So stay tuned. Hopefully, we'll give you the date next week. And whether or not we might be involved, we would love to be. But if we're not,
we're gonna sign up.
We're still gonna tell you when to watch it.
We're gonna watch it probably.
Yes. Yeah. We'll still watch it.
We also have Ivan Soto in the chat said that Karen has been confirmed to return to the Punisher.
That's great. Some people don't like that, but you know what? I'm glad, because I know I see her at this point. I kind of expected it. I didn't know for sure. So thank you for that.
Very, very prevalent in the first season, so it makes sense.
And
it's
obviously
not like
in the
it
story arc when he was originally introduced in Daredevil season 2, she was so heavily involved in that.
And there was a moment between them.
There was a moment, yeah.
In the elevator. I would like to see that turn into something. And then, sorry, just really quickly, Ghost8386 here says Bullseye meeting Punisher would be glorious. Also very true.
That would be so great.
Yeah.
I just hope that they weren't saving Bullseye for Daredevil season 4 that we'll never get, and they were just like, nope, put him in the Punisher. So that would be great.
That'd be awesome.
Even if it's like, like in the season finale, they like run into each other and we get like another cliffhanger or something. But I think it would be great to see him, and I'm glad that everyone in the chat is thinking the way we are. It's very exciting. Now, we will also get, on the television side, we'll also get another season of Jessica Jones. TBD, though. No idea when that might be.
Yeah, we have no dates on that at all.
That would actually be their last season of Marvel content. So they're probably in no rush to put it out there. So it might not be until, later in the year. Or you can look at it the other way. They're just looking to burn it off, and it'll be there in February. It'll be happy birthdays to us. That's what they'll be doing.
We just found out our birthdays are very close
about
together,
a week. No, not about a week apart.
Exactly
literally a week apart. Yes.
Yeah.
So we'll be celebrating here in early February. In any case, so we'll get that. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. will finally come back in the summer. It'll have been gone for an entire year. But the thing I'm most looking forward to, me personally, and we should get it in June because it's about when we got it last year, is season 2 of Cloak and Dagger. Now, I know, Zia, you are too old. You're not even 30, and you're too old for Cloak and Dagger. But here's why I'm so excited for it. Because season 1 was really a prolonged, involved, I found interesting, maybe you didn't, very long, drawn-out origin story. So season 2, we already know that Detective Riley's going to be mayhem. We have some ideas. I think there are rumblings that we're going to get Mr. Jip. So we're going to get a little bit more of the Cloak and Dagger characters that we want to see. The origin is out of the way, and I'm very interested to see what they do with it at this point. I really like these characters. I think that the casting is great for both Ty and Tandy. Because I'm tight, I just call him Ty. I don't think you get to because you don't like him.
No, that's fair.
Yeah, so you have to call him Tyrone. So that's what I'm looking forward to most of all on the television side. And I don't know, Zia, you're gonna watch, but only because you do this show, right?
That's pretty much exactly why. Okay. If I wasn't doing the show, I probably wouldn't watch the second season. I just, I have a hard time with that young actors, and it just I've said it all before.
But you're actually enjoying The Runaways, which I find interesting.
I'm enjoying The Runaways, but I still have a little bit of a hard time with those actors.
There's a lot of actors.
There's a lot of young actors. Literally the only show that I can think of that has like children or young actors in it that I've enjoyed because for some reason they're just great actors is Stranger Things. outside of that, I have a hard time with younger actors.
Are they all good actors?
Maybe not all of them.
All of them? Yeah, but I know what you're saying. Those kids are great. I'm just trying to be mean.
We have some. I love the back and forth whenever Cloak and Dagger comes up. I love that we do this to everybody.
I know. Well, there's like everything that we talk about, at least one of us doesn't like.
Always.
So, yeah.
But Ivan says Cloak and Dagger better than Runaways. Ghost 8386 says I'm 35. I enjoyed Cloak and Dagger.
I'm 43. Wait. No, I'm 42.
Not 43 yet.
Yeah, but soon. And I really enjoyed Cloak and Dagger because I don't know. I really like the characters. But yeah, so that was when Xia told us, this past summer that she felt like she was too old for Cloak and Dagger. I could only laugh. And that's why it's a running gag here on the show.
It is. It's going to be forever.
So, yeah, but that's what I'm most looking forward to. And let us know if anybody else in the chat throws anything else out there. I've got a hunch that Star Drew is looking forward to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. more than anything, if I just had to guess. But maybe I'm wrong. On the movie side, I will go first. And I am looking forward to it because I'm going to admit I'm really nervous about X-Men Dark Phoenix. I've said many times on the show, it is the greatest comic book story ever written. And it's perfect in its comic book form. They did a movie adaptation of it, X-Men The Last Stand, X3. And they didn't do it just badly, they made it boring. And I don't know how you can do that. Only Brett Ratner could figure out a way to do that. Because he did. So there have been reshoots, there have been delays, there's a lot of rumblings about this, that it's not good. I'm cautiously optimistic, but I'm really looking forward to this because I'm hoping they just need to do a decent job of telling the story. The story, the arc is so good that even if you miss some of the beats, as long as you hit the main ones, you're going to tell a good story. So that's why I'm looking forward to it more than anything else, because I feel pretty confident I'm going to love Spider-Man Far From Home because Spider-Man's in it. Although, to be fair, Spider-Man 3 also, didn't love. So that's usually the third movie it's a little bit of an issue. Avengers Endgame, just can't wait to see the end of the story. And Captain Marvel, definitely looking forward to. And in fact, Xia, is that what you were most excited about?
That is what I'm most excited about.
He asks as though he already knows,
yeah,
which
we
I
don't
do.
ever talk outside of the show. Not all the time. What? Yeah, I'm excited because it's a story that I'm not actually that familiar with. So I'm excited to see more about it. It'll be more me going in blind. We're not familiar that much with this character unless you've read a lot of the comics, which
Yes.
there are so many. I have so many.
Right, and this character is really Ms. Marvel, who became Captain Marvel, and there have actually been multiple Captain Marvels. When you take out of the equation that the DC character Shazam was also called Captain Marvel originally. Super confusing.
By the
that
way,
DC
I'm
has a
excited
character
to see that movie.
that looks fun. I love Zachary Levi. So yeah, it's very confusing that all these characters are called Captain Marvel. I know her mostly as Ms. Marvel, but very interested to see it. And look, it's 90s retro, so I'm already excited for jokes about Blockbuster Video and some Third Eye Blind music, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Little 311, who knows? Snow. I don't know. We'll see what else we can get in there. So I agree. And that's what it is for you, right? It's sort of like, well, it's an unknown. That's why you're excited about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it also comes before all the other ones.
It becomes before all the other ones, and I've seen the trailer, and it looks fun. It looks exciting. I think they're going to do a really good job. This is Carol Danvers, correct? That's the character?
That is Carol Danvers, yes.
So I know just like a very small amount.
Yeah, she was Ms. Marvel in the comics. Then when Rogue was still a villain in Avengers Annual number 10, she steals Carol Danvers' powers. That's why Rogue can fly.
I actually did know that.
Yeah, and that's why she has some of the. So Carol Danvers becomes the character Binary, who's one of the Starjammers, part of the X-Men lore. And then she ends up becoming Captain Marvel, but that's much later. In all honesty, that's during a period of time I didn't read comics, so can't really connect those dots for you. But I've read about it. I understand what happens, but. That's who this is. That's Captain Marvel, who was often known as Ms. Marvel. So that's what we're most looking forward to. But as the year goes along, we're going to talk a lot about some of these other things. Very little known about Spider-Man Far From Home yet because all this other stuff's coming before it. Like we know it's Mysterio. and Ryan Gosling, I think, is the guy who's playing him, right? Or is it Jake Gyllenhaal? I get my handsome guys confused. I'm embarrassed now. It's one of those handsome gents.
I don't know.
Well, I'll fact check myself while Xia brings us this important message.
Yes, AfterBuzzers. Our network produces after shows for nearly all of your favorite TV shows, from dramas, reality TV, sci-fi, and more. There is literally no network that works harder to serve television fans. But we need your help. We're asking that you please subscribe to one or more of our YouTube channels. By subscribing, YouTube will suggest content that is tailor-made for you, and you help AfterBuzz continue to grow. And if you're worried about pesky notifications, do not be, because they're optional. You can turn them off. So hit that subscribe button now. Oh, wait. For this channel, right now. And check out our other AfterBuzz YouTube channels as well. Let us know you did so in the comments, and we'll shout you out on air. Until then, thank you for being the best fans and for helping us be the ESPN of TV talk.
Thank you, Xia. And yes, it's Jake
You're very
Gyllenhaal.
welcome.
I get my handsome men confused. Ryan Gosling, as soon as I said it, I'm like, that's not him.
No.
That's not right.
The only thing that I am a little bit nervous about is that because they chose Jake Johnson, that they're going...
Jake Johnson.
Gyllenhaal. Jeez.
That's the Spider-Man who let himself go from Into the Spider-Verse.
Totally different one. All these Jakes.
Yeah.
That they're going to want to show his face.
Yeah, and I want the fishbowl head.
I need the fishbowl head.
We need it at least for a while.
Yeah.
You know, if Tom Hardy can, have the Bane mask on and the Venom mask on, Jake, you're very handsome. We get it. We'll see you a little bit, okay?
Yeah, and
but
it's
you
fine.
need the fishbowl head.
Every other movie, you can be handsome in all the other
Right,
ones.
exactly.
It's fine.
We get it. You look good. That's you keep telling us in the chat throughout the course of the show as we go along. Let us know some of the other things you're looking forward to, and Xia will shout out what you're thinking about. Now, Xia, we got that important message from you. Now, there's another important message from you, because we should let people know, what did you do while we were off?
Oh, my big announcement.
Yes.
I got married.
What? Congratulations.
Yeah.
And you're still Xia Anderson, Xia Landerson.
I'm still Xia Anderson,
You
Xia
didn't
Landerson.
follow my advice and legally change your name to Xia Landerson.
I should have,
Yes.
right? I was reading over all the rules, and you can only change it in California in a variation of 3 ways. Like, you can hyphenate your name, you can keep your last name, you can take his last name, or you can take some elements of his last name and your last
you can merge
name
it together, right?
and merge it together.
So you couldn't have changed your last name to Peter Parker if you wanted to?
No, they don't let you
That's
do
really
that.
not
I
cool.
know. We really tried, because he wanted to just give us a whole new last name altogether.
What was the whole new last name?
Well,
gonna
we
be?
were just going
Oh,
to
you didn't
choose
have it
one.
yet.
We didn't
Oh.
have one. We were just going to choose one. And then I was really looking into it, and I was like, oh, we can't actually do that.
It's going to be an
It's a
inside
bummer.
joke, but it's probably Chipperson. Anyway, so congratulations. We're very
Thank
excited.
you.
And unbeknownst to you, that leads us into our secondary topic, the 5 best Marvel weddings of all time.
Nice.
So,
That was so smooth.
very smooth. Steve in the booth. We will get started. Look at that. I love that. That is
amazing.
awesome. The first one that we have is one that's more, it looks cool. It didn't last. But boy, the image that we have that goes with it is pretty cool. We have number 5, we have Storm and Black Panther. And just look at them. Look at the two of them. You got, this is in the middle of Civil War. So Cap and Iron Man are like, man, we're here at this wedding, but we have to sit on opposite sides. We should not be in the same room. It didn't work, and I think that from a creative standpoint, Storm needs to basically not be the queen to T'Challa's king. She's a goddess, for goodness sake, for goddess's sake, if you will. So, but I was very excited to find out about the fact that they had gotten married, which I actually didn't know until the Black Panther movie was out. So I've read about it since, and it looks cool. So that's the number 5. Number 4, we have a couple of images that go with it. Jessica Jones and Luke Cage. This is not in the Netflix universe, but for those watching on YouTube, the moment when they're exchanging their vows, that's the little one that you had just there, Steve. The one with the 3 shot and the word balloons. If we can bring that one full screen to show the audience.
Stan Lee.
The officiant is our friend Stan the Man Lee. Obviously, it's very fantastic. And of course, it's just they go through the whole thing and he's just like, sure, Jessica being Jessica's like, yeah, whatever, let's just do this, you know. So I thought it was kind of great. And there's sort of the whole wedding party, which you'll see some familiar faces in there. You got Wolverine in there because I guess, you know, he's pals. But you got who I think is Danny Rand, and you got Trish and some other friends. Yeah, Danny Rand off there to the top left.
Definitely.
Yeah. So those are the people that you would want to see in there. So it's very exciting. Number 3 is kind of like an all-timer. It's an epic one. It is Cyclops and Jean Grey. They finally got married in X-Men number 30. This is not Uncanny X-Men. This is not Ultimate X-Men. This is not one of those very, 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 very variations. This was in the early 90s. But it was a very exciting moment to finally have those two crazy kids get together. And you just see all these people assembled on the lawn of Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters. So it was great, but we also have to give an honorable mention because it was not the first time that Scott essentially married Jean. Because prior to that, the honorable mention is that Cyclops married Madeline Pryor, who it turned out was a clone of Jean Grey, which we didn't know at the time, but we found out later. So that was actually right when I started reading comics, was right literally the month after these two got married. So it's a little bit of a soft spot in my heart. Spoiler alert, as does our number 1. And we'll just put a pause on the countdown right now. How do you feel about these 3 that we've had so far? Storm and Black Panther, Jessica Jones and Luke Cage, and Cyclops and Jean Grey. Come on.
Oh, they're all amazing. Those are great picks. I definitely like the Storm and Black Panther because that was one that I didn't know until you told me. I believe you told me this once before.
Yeah, I only learned about it recently, like I said, when the Black Panther movie was out. And, you know, because it didn't last, there's, I believe there was some infidelity. I think Wolverine might have been involved.
Oh, Storm. What?
Whoops. Anyway, I think they were really determined to break them up. Anyway, so let's move on to number 2, which for a lot of people, a lot of Marvel fans, this would be their number 1. I have a bias, but Reed Richards and Sue Storm, they're actually the first couple, the first couple of the Marvel universe. They got married, I believe, in Fantastic Four 65. It was really early. You know, I mean, that... and here's a great picture because it's the 60s. You've got the original X-Men in their bright yellow uniforms. You've got Hawkeye with, let's just say the interesting headgear. Nick Fury's just dapper. And, I don't know, just happy to see Daredevil and Spidey, you know?
Thor?
Yeah,
Thor
of course.
is there?
Yeah, I mean, all the Avengers are basically all there. And, and I love that good old Ben Grimm has a hanky. You know, he just loves a wedding, you know? And there's the Wasp.
Crying
just still
little
tiny.
rocks.
Yeah, exactly. So that's you know, you for most people, you can't do better than that. That would have to be the best wedding in Marvel history. But if you're me and you started reading comics in the mid-'80s, you are obsessed, and the couple that we all want to be, Peter and Mary Jane. That is my number 1. There are 2 versions of this cover. This is the one that I have because I didn't live near a comic book specialty store. You just go and you buy it. See, it's got the barcode on it. It's the Spider-Man version, which is really cool because you've got Daredevil again. Daredevil gets to go to a lot of weddings. Good for him. And Wolvie's there. We got the Human Torch. We've got Cap. And then we've got the murderer's row of bad guys. We've got, of course, Electro, Kingpin, Doc Ock, and the Lizard. And then I believe it's the last image in the email, Steve, is the Peter Parker version, which is the direct edition, because I guess they felt like people really want to get superheroes on their superhero comics, but I like getting to see, you know, Harry Osborn and Liz and Aunt May, and even J. Jonah Jameson's there, Robbie Robertson, Flash Thompson. It's the whole gang. Yeah, look at that. It's everybody. So, I don't know. For me, for my bottom dollar, this is the best couple in the Marvel Universe. And we've talked at great length on this show about how, you know, Peter and Gwen, it just wasn't meant to be. Peter and Mary Jane, regardless of any events that have happened in the last, the 21st century, they'll always have the soft spot in my heart. So, Xia, may your nuptials be as joyous, and I know you already had them, as joyous as Peter and Mary Jane's.
Thank you.
And
I
not
think it was.
undone by a deal with Mephisto to save someone's aunt's life.
I mean, I wasn't going to say anything.
Yeah.
Because I was going to definitely find a way around that.
You were going to probably make a deal with Mephisto.
Yeah.
Well, obviously. Anyway, if there's any Marvel weddings that I left off that people want, I mean, Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne, you can put that in there. Doesn't really end well for them, so I decided to not include them. I do love those characters individually, but
there's one from Haywood Wong in here. He said, "Hey, Thing just got married to his girl Alicia last month."
Yes, literally
number
just
5.
happened.
Yeah.
Alicia Masters, who at one point seemingly got married to the Human Torch, which was very scandalous, but it turned out just a Skrull shapeshifter who looked like Alicia Masters. Whew. She wouldn't do that to good old Ben Grimm. And yes, that's a great one. That's the new run of the Fantastic Four. Anyway, so you had no idea we were going to do that.
No, I didn't. That was a surprise to me. But that was sweet. Thank you.
Well, in lieu of an actual gift,
I'll take it.
I instead
I'll
gave
take
you a
it.
countdown. And that's why I had to huddle in the booth with Steve for a little while, because I was like, oh, don't let her see any of the wedding pictures. This is like very, and you didn't look up at any point.
No,
so
I
it
was
perfect.
trying to
It was
take
literally
selfies
perfect.
and
Oh
read
yeah, of
them all,
course.
so,
yeah.
you know.
Anyway, so if you're watching the archive version, let us know anybody else that you think should be included on the list, and shout out your congratulations to our pal Xia.
Thanks, guys.
So, thank you.
Aw.
And thank you, Steve, for running through all of those. I know it was a little bit of a bombardment, but I wanted to give the YouTube audience something to look at. So, we only have a few minutes left. And while we're here, I do want to talk a little bit more. We touched on it very briefly. So right after, I guess the Friday after we went on our break, the entire second season of The Runaways dropped. And for me, that's when I realized. So on December 21st, they drop an entire 13-episode season of a show. Season 1 was only 10 episodes, by the way. 13 episodes. December 21st, right before Christmas. I'm like, oh, they're not doing this for me. I'm not their target demo. They're going for like high school and college kids who are on a long break and they don't know what to do.
Oh,
and
so
they're like,
you mean young people?
yes. So this is for young people. Now I can still enjoy it. It's just they're clearly not making it for me, because as of right now, I have watched 3, and I only did that on Friday. I just didn't have time because I've got 2 small kids. It was Christmas. You know, there's just there's not enough time in the and I had to watch Bird Box, for God's sake. So I didn't have time. You know, so have you seen it, by the way?
I haven't.
All right, that's all right.
And it's hilarious because whatever Netflix is trying to do, it's working, because now I gotta watch it.
Yeah,
I
know.
have to.
I know, and see, if The Runaways was on Netflix, maybe everybody would have to watch it, but it's on Hulu.
It's on Hulu.
And I really like the first season, and Z, I do hope you watch the first season.
I am gonna go back and watch it.
I think you'll actually enjoy a lot of things. I think it'll be a little bit of a better understanding. This first batch of episodes of season 2, the first 3 that I've seen, they're definitely gearing up for what is going to be, what actually happens this season. It's a lot of finding their footing. They're on the run. I'm not going to give any spoilers here. They're on the run. They try to get things figured out. They try to just figure out how they can work together, and that's the important thing. And it's good to see, but I'm like, all right, but let's see more of those powers. Let's see some cool stuff.
See, I think that's one thing from not watching the first season. I don't mind that as much.
Right.
That because I'm still figuring out who all of these people
Right.
are, and then going back to watch the first season is going to be completely different.
And I love that they always find the time to make out. Doesn't matter what's going on.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if something's blowing up near you. They always find the time. So good for you, kids.
And also, that is realistic. It's a bunch of runaway, like, how old are they? 15, 16, 17-year-olds?
Yeah, that range,
Something
yeah.
along there. They've got hormones.
Molly's a little bit younger. She's like 12, 13, I
Oh,
think.
okay,
Yeah,
so
but-
she's a smaller
But
one.
the rest
But-
of them are like from the same grade, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, you got a bunch of hormoned up kids who have no
Yeah.
parental supervision all in a group together.
And
I mean, it does
superpowers.
make sense. Yeah, and superpowers. Like, that's not, out of the ordinary at all.
So have you watched enough that you can isolate maybe a favorite character, or you need to reserve judgment maybe till next week?
I need to, honestly, I think I need to reserve judgment maybe till next week. I've got one that I'm kind of leaning towards. I think just for personal reasons.
Well, no, you need to, you're not locked into it. But who are you thinking?
And this is so bad. All of the names were escaping me.
Sure.
I wanted to go on IMDb and like write down every
Right.
person's name. The goth girl.
Yeah, Nico.
She's
probably my favorite.
I like.
I like
so
the
far.
staff.
Yeah.
You know,
I love her outfit. She
well,
just looks great.
Yeah, exactly.
Good fashion.
But let us know what you guys think. No spoilers in the chat, please. But what you guys think so far of the season. How many episodes have you seen? Maybe you were able to watch all 13. I really liked what they did with season 1. They dropped the first 3 episodes in the first week so that you could kind of like, get a feel for it. And then it got started. And then it was 1 a week after that.
I like that.
I like the 1 a week. It's better for me. It's so much pressure. So much pressure for me to watch all these shows now.
Binging is hard, especially when you have so many shows to binge.
That's true.
I wanted to agree to be on the panel for A Series of Unfortunate Events, which I really love that show.
Yeah.
But I just realized now that's another one that I have to binge, and I keep adding to the list, and I'm like, I really like these 1 a weeks more and more now.
And you're adding The Punisher into the mix.
I'm adding The Punisher. I mean, it's so many.
So many.
But I want to watch them all.
On New Year's Day, we got a new episode of The Gifted. Let's not dwell. Step back for you, Zia, from what might have been a little bit more of a satisfying ending to the first part of the season, or is it just all same old for you?
It's kind of just same old. I mean, there were a couple things that I liked that they were doing. I liked with what's his face's girlfriend who died. This is so bad.
Oh, Andy.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Andy's girlfriend who died. I liked. I liked what they did with her character. I like how she died.
She was a great character.
She was a great character.
And of course they killed her off because she's actually interesting.
Yeah. But I like that they did that because it made the show kind of a little bit more interesting. But now they're just doing this weird back and forth between Andy and his family.
Yeah.
And I get it, but it's like it's too soap opera-y for me, man.
I think they should just ditch the whole show and we'll just go hang out with the Morlocks.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
I would definitely be happy to see, right?
That'd be cool.
How about a Morlock show? Or, let's be realistic. Just give us one episode that's like a Morlock-centric episode. Let's be realistic.
Yeah, we don't get to see them that much.
I know.
It's just Blink going down there and getting into fights with her boy.
With Thunderbird.
Yeah, with Thunderbird. Side.
Well, that's on Tuesdays on Fox, and right now that is our weekly dose of Marvel television. But we are just a little bit, we're about 2 weeks away, let's be honest, from season 2, The Punisher. So you know what I think we should do next week, Zia? We should recap season 1 for everyone. And by everyone, I mean me. Because I remember a lot of things about it, but I think I'm going to need the refresher. So next Sunday, we will do a recap of Punisher Season 1, and that'll get you ready for Season 2, which will just be the end of that week. We'll be here on Sunday. That'll drop on Friday. Zia's going to be up all night and into the afternoon, and I'll text you and be like, how far are you? And you'll be like, I fell asleep after 3.
Actually, you're probably 100% accurate there.
Yeah. I've tried that when they drop. I've tried to stay up and watch, and like I did that with the first season of Iron Fist, and I got through 1.5, and I was like, I have to go to sleep.
It's hard when you have children and jobs, and you need sleep. Sleep is important.
Right. That's our lesson. That's our message to all of you out there.
But still watch the shows.
Oh, yeah, you got to watch all the shows because then you can watch us.
Yeah.
And sorry about the spoiler for The Gifted that we mentioned that someone died. I just realized that.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
It's all right. I forget. And it's not one of the main cast members, and it did happen more than a month ago.
I think we did talk about it, too,
We talked about it already
still,
on the show.
Yeah,
but I forgot to do that. That's on me if I've ruined The Gifted for someone. But you know how I feel. Fox has ruined The Gifted for all of us. But anyway, on that note, we'll be back next week. I don't know, actually, if we'll be at 9 or 10. I'll tweet out the right time next week, I promise.
And I will retweet it.
That's kind of not entirely on me. I got conflicting messages. I thought we were going to be on at 10 tonight. But next week, I will tweet out that. I think we're on at 9 next week, okay? Maybe we're on at 10. But we'll tweet it out. And then whenever we're on next week, we're going to recap season 1 of The Punisher. Until then, Zia, where do people find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Zia_land. It's XIA_land. And on Facebook at Zia Landerson.
Oh, Zia Landerson on Facebook. All right. I don't know if I'm friends with Zia Landerson. I think I might be, actually.
I don't remember.
Because you have two,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Okay, so I
You're
have
friends
both.
with both.
Yeah. All right, great. And me, you can find me at ChristianDMZ on Twitter and Instagram. Oh, and Facebook as well, at ChristianDMZ. And Tuesday, we'll be back for the first episode of The Trump Report for 2019. That is Tuesday at 4 Pacific right here on AfterBuzz TV. Until then, we will see... Well, until next Sunday, really, because we're teasing you towards next week. Until next Sunday, Excelsior!
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.